So it's a lead up to the Super Bowl, but we're also starting to see the first couple of preseason games to Super Rugby, which kind of leads to sort of a nice little interesting scenario here where we've got the end of the climax of the NFL season with the Super Bowl. And then you've got rugby coming up, and I always like this time of year. And I guess, the creative person in me has always wondered, and which All Blacks could do well in the NFL. And I guess I think this was quite a hot topic a couple of weeks ago when Welsh rugby player Rees-Zammit announced that he was going to quit the rugby to join the NFL International Pathway program. It should be noted that, look, while there have been sort of like inquiries, maybe the mention of an odd trial, for likes of Dan Carter, Bolden Barrett, no All Black, no New Zealand rugby player has, and certainly in recent times, gone on to the NFL and to international pathway. Certainly not in the way like Jarrett Hayne or and what Rees-Zammit is going to do. I guess, when you think about it, there's a couple of factors, I guess. Rugby in New Zealand is quite lucrative. There's always the low the All Blacks jersey. And, I guess by the time they want to try other things, they're kind of a little bit on the older side. Dan Carter sort of thought about it, quite late on in his career. And I guess, NFL, it's still a reasonably niche sport in New Zealand. But, I guess one wonders, obviously NFL is growing. You've got TVNZ now showing the Super Bowl free to air. And of course, there's not, there's the availability of NFL on sports TV is actually raising awareness, that, hey, maybe it's not, there's not too many not too many differences, and the transition, yes, it'll be complex, but it can be done. I guess certainly, it's certainly closer. The similarities between rugby and NFL are, certainly more so than, say, if you're going from rugby to soccer.
Tasman player Will Jordan, chip and chase for himself. What a game he's having, Will Jordan. Foot race away from Telea, away from
I have named 3 players who I think would be very good skill players. My first one's Will Jordan. Of course, he's the Crusaders, Tasman Marco, utility back. I like to call him a utility back. Well, he is a fullback. He can play wing and pretty much anywhere in the back line apart from number 9. Of course, he's 6'1", 1 inch. Maybe the build could be built out a bit more, but having said that, I think if he's going to play wide receiver, which I think that would be a good spot. He's got very good hands in the air, and of course he's got pace. He's got very good positional awareness and a good step. I think Will Jordan could make a very, very good wide receiver. Obviously, yes, I said, as I mentioned in another with Rees-Zammit, of course, in rugby, they're dealing with up and unders. In the NFL, you're dealing with a horizontal pass. So that's going to be the biggest fundamental change. But, Will Jordan's always sort of been a very, very... rumor has it that Will Jordan was quite the athlete at school. I think, we could have had a career in cricket. So decided to go to rugby for... Fair enough, it's New Zealand. Rugby is obviously the most lucrative sport in professional rugby. So, I mean, that Will Jordan there.
Ardie Savea busting through. Can he sneak it away? Oh, he doesn't need to. Brilliant try by Ardie Savea.
My other next player I'm going to say, and then I'm actually going to slightly build this up because the last player I think is going to be perfect for the NFL. The other player is Ardie Savea, of course, the de facto captain in some of the eyes for the All Blacks. Remains to be seen what will happen under Scott Robertson. But look, Ardie Savea, of course, probably considered by many as the All Blacks' best player. 188 centimeters, 6'2", so slightly taller than Will Jordan. 102 kilograms. Definitely he gets the edge on the belt. Yeah, obviously we know him very well at number 8 flanker. Very powerful, brutal running style, which would make him perfect as, in my opinion, he'd be perfect as a fullback, running back. NFL doesn't. That fullback is a sort of an extinct position, but so we're going to go running back. Yeah, because he's impossible. He's very, very hard to tackle with ball in hand. Even when he gets, he often always makes like at least 5 or 6 meters, even when he's being tackled. So yeah, that makes him a perfect running back. And certainly has the skills to offload there. So yeah, I mean, Ardie Savea in the NFL could be a very tantalizing prospect. I know he would really wants to continue his All Blacks career, but yeah, I mean, I think he is a bit of an NFL fan. So maybe I don't know, a trial with one of the NFL clubs after in a couple of years, maybe after the next Rugby World Cup, could be up his alley.
Right. No, that's brilliant try from Telea. There were 15 defenders beaten going into the match, and another 3, maybe 4. Look at the pace, the acceleration, then bang, I'm going to go on the outside in the late step. And the power, the upper body power, even back at it, just couldn't hold on.
My ultimate choice, and I've thought about this since when Rees-Zammit announced his move to the NFL, and I was starting to think of current New Zealand rugby players who would be very, very good in the NFL. I think Mark Telea, Mark Telea could have a very, very good shot at the NFL. Mark Evander Telea, age 27, plays for the Blues, of course. 1.86 meters, 6'1", same height as Will Jordan, 94 kilograms. Look, his frame might not be there, but I think the reason I've sort of mentioned him is just I think looking back at the Rugby World Cup, he broke Jonah Lomu's record for line breaks. And look, I think he could play running back if he bulks up a bit more, but I think he'll make a very good wide receiver. Or safety if they chuck it in there, because he is very good and he has got some pace, power, and he's quite solid in the air. And again, I think I'm just one of a few NFL scouts might have had a look at that 2023 Rugby World Cup. And maybe this guy might be. I guess it'd be interesting to see. Of course, it sort of came out of nowhere, really, Mark Telea to become an All Black. I mean, he's had his issues. He's had some issues at the Rugby World Cup, but I think he was really one of the stand-up players of the All Blacks, and I certainly think he would make a really fine NFL player. So we don't, I guess we might talk quickly about defensive players, but it is a bit tricky because techniques, big bodies, and all that. There's certainly, I mean, maybe White Crockett or someone or Joe Moody. So I think they're a bit too lightweight to be linesmen. But maybe Brodie Retallick, I guess. He's at 6'7". He could be, he could be a very good defensive end. Or to be honest, actually, the skill Retallick has, maybe he could be a very good tight end. Of course, he's 32 now, so I think that trying out anything is that boat has well and truly set for Brodie Retallick. But yeah, you just imagine what if, Brodie is certainly considered probably one of our greatest ever locks, along with Sam Whitelock. And certainly as a tackling machine, he is up there. So yeah, I mean, he could possibly be one of my most versatile players. I'm thinking like, your Vaughan Miller's, that sort of thing, or tight end. Yeah. So, but one wonders. So it's always a bit of a fascinating what if hypothetical scenario. And yeah, I guess could there be any New Zealand players who might follow the NFL route, or future All Blacks, current All Blacks, or even Super Rugby or NPC players? We shall see. It is interesting to note, of course. Yeah, speaking, Tamati Ellison's, I think it was his uncle, wasn't it? It was Rhett Ellison was played in the NFL and was a highly decorated player. So yeah, we've got maybe Tamati Ellison that followed that line. But yeah, so would like to hear your thoughts on any New Zealand rugby players, Australian rugby players, any others who might be thinking of following the Rees-Zammit route and trying their luck out in the big NFL. I'd like to hear your thoughts, and if you like this video, feel free to like and don't forget to subscribe.